So today our topic is about the climate changes. Firstly we define what is the climate. So climate is basically the composites or generally prevailing weather conditions of a region as temperature, air pressure, humidity, perceptions, sunshines, cloudiness and winds throughout the year average over a series of years is known as the climate. So basically earth natural greenhouse gases affect the climate. Basically, it play important role in maintaining the earth energy balance. Greenhouse gases needed in atmosphere to regulate the temperature to sustain the life. There are different greenhouse gases which affect the climate. For example, water vapors, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and the ozones. So, other greenhouse gases such as the methane and the nitrous oxide also affect the climate. For example, methane is the main component of the natural gas. It released from the landfills, natural gas, and petroleum industries and agriculture, especially from the digestive system of the grazing animals. It also produces about 21 times more heat than carbon dioxide and it accounts for about 60% of all greenhouse gas emission. Secondly, the nitrous oxide, which is the agriculture and the livestocks, including the fertilizers, manures, and burning of the agriculture residues, along with the burning fuels, are the biggest source of nitrous oxide emissions. It produced the 390 times more heat than the carbon dioxide and it about 6% of the global greenhouse gas emission. Secondly, the ozone layer depletion also affect the climate. For example, ozone layer act as a earth natural sunscreen and block some of the UV radiations that come from the sun, shielding us from the damaging rays. So since 1985, it has been observed that the ozone layer is depleting in the stratosphere due to the chemical actions with the chlorine atom that is being released from the dissolutions of the chlorofluorocarbons, particularly in the presence of the sunlight. So now this impact of the UV radiations are that it can affect and cause the skin cancer, cataract and ultimate blindness and reduce the overall immune efficiency. These UV radiations may interfere with the photosynthesis which leading to the lower crop yield. So the main effect of these climate is the global warming, which is the phenomena of the climate change characterized by the general increase in the average temperature of the earth, which modify the weather balance and ecosystem for a long time. It directly linked to the increase of the greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, worsening the greenhouse effect. So the effects of the climate changes is that firstly the temperature will continue to the rise. One of the most immediate and obvious effect of the global warming is the increase in the temperature around the world. The average global temperature has increased by about 1.4 degree Fahrenheit, that is 0.28 degree Celsius, over the past 100 years. At the pace of the current carbon dioxide emissions, scientists expect an increase of about 1.5 degree and 5.3 degree in average temperature by 2100. If no action is taken, it would have harmful consequences to humanity and the biosphere. Secondly, these climate changes causing the glaciers are melting. For example, glaciers in the Greenland and Antarctica are losing ice at alarming rates. In the same way, sea levels will rise 1 to 8 feet by 2500. For example, because of the global warming, far more and ice are melting massively at the poles, increasing the sea level at a rate near none before. In a century, the increase reached 18 centimeters. The worst case scenario is a rise of up to 1 meter by 2100. So it caused the acidifications of the oceans also of the great concern because the large amount of the carbon dioxide captured by the ocean make them more acidic, arising serious question about the adaptability of the seashells and the coral reefs. So for decades now, meteorologists and the climatologists around the world have been watching the effect of the global warming on weather phenomena. And the impact is huge. Change in the precipitations type, more drought and heat waves, more natural disasters like the flood, hurricanes, storms, and wildfires for free season, etc. For example, there are the two pictures of the Australian bushfire and summer super cyclones. Amphones is the examples of the climate change. So basically, climates affect our biodiversity. For example, the increase of the temperature and the climate upheavals disturb the ecosystem, which modify the condition and cycles of the plant reproduction. The scarcity of the resources and the climate changes are changing life habits and migratory cycle of the animals. So we are already witnessing the disappearance of many species, including the endemic species, or conversely, the introduction of the invasive species that threaten crops and other animals. Secondly, it affects the human. For example, human beings are not spared by these upheavals. Climate changes is affecting the global economy. It is already shaking up social, health, and geopolitical balance in many parts of the world. The scarcity of the resources like the food and the energies give rise to the new conflicts. Rising sea levels and floods are causing population migration. Small island states are in the front line, and the estimated number of climate refugees by 2050 is 250 million peoples. So these are all about the climate changes in the world. Thank you so much.